Hi friends, I'm Nora. I have Cushing's disease, polycystic ovarian syndrome, and today I'm here to talk to you about how to know which one you have. I do want to be really clear here that I say this in a lot of my videos. I'm not a medical professional. I'm simply talking about my own experiences. If you see a medical professional who disagrees with what I say, like, they're probably correct. However, my experience is valid. It's what happened to me. I'm always 100% honest. Like, I'm happy to admit mistakes. I'm happy to like reform and check on anything that I've said in the past. So if you think something's like wrong, like, call me out on it. But mostly, like, I'm just here to share my experience and what I've been through and what's been confirmed by my doctor. So I can't speak for all medical professionals. I can't speak for every single experience. And I sometimes when people are like, oh, but I only have this and that, and I get it totally, but my experience isn't the only experience. Things aren't like set in stone here, but that's what I'm here to do. I can't share everyone's experience. I can only share mine. So PCOS versus Cushing's disease. So to start with, like, PCOS, I had no vision issues. So I was diagnosed with PCOS after Cushing's, and with polycystic ovarian syndrome, like, I honestly was pretty good. It was harder for me to lose weight, and please don't think I'm not belittling anybody who has polycystic ovarian syndrome. It's absolutely difficult, 100%. However, for me, in comparison to Cushing's disease, I found it a lot more manageable. It was difficult to lose weight with polycystic ovarian syndrome. It was impossible to lose weight with Cushing's disease. Honestly, I have zero appetite right now. Like, today so far I ate a half a bagel and I'm so full and I feel disgusted. I don't want to eat anything else. And that's not healthy. Don't do that. But my point being is, like, I'm not eating enough to be having this 60-pound weight gain. I'm struggling to get all of the things that I need to have a proper diet right now because I am so unhungry. With polycystic ovarian syndrome, this wasn't an issue that I had. Like, I had normal hunger. I was able to eat properly, and, like, with effort, medication, diet, and exercise, I was able to lose weight. Second, I did not have a buffalo hump, and it receded when I had polycystic ovarian syndrome, and it came back full-fledged, full force, when I had Cushing's disease. So a lot of people are like, I have PCOS with a buffalo hump. In my personal opinion, I think you should get tested for Cushing's. However, like, some people have said they got diagnosed. Like, if you don't agree, you don't agree. Like, that's not a problem. I'm not upset. Like, you're not going to force you to get tested. But, like, for me, I just think, what's the harm? It's much more common. And, like, Cushing's disease is often misdiagnosed as polycystic ovarian syndrome. So I think it's just, like, worth getting tested. I didn't have any visual disturbances when I had polycystic ovarian syndrome. They came back when I had Cushing's disease. For periods, and this one I want to, like, really say this is my experience, and I know that other people with polycystic ovarian syndrome have different experiences when it comes to periods, but for me, my periods were every other month to every month, and relatively, like, they had inconsistencies, but they were still happening. When I got Cushing's again, they disappeared entirely, and it happened quickly, and then they never came back. And the first time I got my period again was after I took ketoconazole, so it was a clear correlation to the cortisol issue. With polycystic ovarian syndrome, I lived a relatively normal life. I did have some brain fog. I did have some mood issues. That's, like, one where I feel like it overlaps a little bit more, is, like, with mood issues. I will say, though, I found it again to be much more manageable under polycystic ovarian syndrome than when I had Cushing's. And I think for me, had I just had polycystic ovarian syndrome or had it first, it wouldn't have felt so mild. But I think that with Cushing's disease, it was just so extreme and so damaging, that it just felt so much simpler when I had polycystic ovarian syndrome only. Although Cushing's disease never goes away, but it was dormant. I had, my hair loss was a lot worse with Cushing's. I did have some hair loss, but I have curly hair, so my hair is, like, you know, like, you lose hair every day as a normal person, but it's much more extreme when it comes to Cushing's disease. And then again with polycystic ovarian syndrome, like, the things that are worse are, of course, cysts in the ovaries, higher testosterone issues, and then, like, more hair issues. And then with Cushing's, things that are, like, there that I didn't have at all when I just had PCOS, bruising, thinning skin, and then my muscle issues did not exist with polycystic ovarian syndrome. Yeah, this one's really hard because I do think there's more overlap than necessarily what I experienced, but this is my experience. I would love for you to share yours in the comments of like what was different for you, if you were diagnosed with PCOS or if you were misdiagnosed with PCOS, like what you experienced, what you didn't. And I also just do want to note that Cushing's is often misdiagnosed as polycystic ovarian syndrome. So if you have all of the symptoms that I've been talking about on my page and I talk about on my TikTok as well, it can't hurt to test. So yeah. Anyway, I really hope this is helpful for you guys. Lots of love, and stay healthy.